Okay, I would like to do what I like to call flip and join. And it is a very handy way to draw out symmetrical shapes. And anything that is symmetrical means that it's the same on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, which many of our technical drawings will be. So first of all, I'm going to hop on my ruler guides. And I'm just going to pull a ruler somewhere in the center. And I'm going to pull out my tools, pen tool. I'm going to use a new tool called the reflect tool. And it is hidden underneath rotate, as you can see, but it also has the pull out. And I'm going to use those two today. I'm going to give myself a black stroke, and I will give myself some sort of fill that I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so I've got a blue fill, black stroke. Fill is the center, what the shape is filled with, and stroke is the outside of it. Okay. Now, basically, I'm just going to draw something really simple shape-wise. And you'll recall all right, so if I hold shift, I can either do horizontal or vertical. So if you need to get a right angle, hold shift and it will only do right angles, which can be very handy when you are drafting. So I'm making my shape here, and I want to end up at the center line again, like so. And I'm going to click, and then I'm going to hit the escape key, ESC, on the upper left-hand corner where I have, I can disengage my pen. So here I have half of a shape like that. If I turn off my fill, which I can do by hovering over the none, that'll turn off my fill. I would just have the outline, but I actually want to keep my fill. So I will, bam. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to flip the shape and join this point and this point to the new lines that I'm going to create when I have the new other half of it. Okay. So I'm going to black arrow, and then I'm going to use my very handy reflect tool. I'm going to double click it, 1, 2 quickly. And the default is to flip my original shape, which I do not want because I want to have 2 of them. So what I want to do instead is hit copy. And what you'll see is I'll now have 2 of them, and I'm going to move my other shape over. Right now I'm using my arrow keys. I could use my black arrow as well, and basically put it right beside the other one. Okay. Now, there's one more stage on this, and what I want to do is join those 2 open points that I have, right? Because again, if I hover over these and I turn off my fill, what I have is one half of a shape, another half of this shape, and I still have these 2 open points. So I'm going to leave this a little bit far out. You would do it with it right beside it, like that, really nice and close and tight. I'm going to give it a bit of a space because I want to show you what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm going to use our famous white arrow, okay? And white arrow allows you to select individual points. Now, there's a couple ways you can join a shape. You can actually use your pen tool and continue from that point, click on that anchor and then join it, right? But what you can also do, the way I like to do it, is you can use the white arrow and you can do what it's called a marquee. M-A-R-Q-U-E-E, marquee. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not accidentally grabbing my guide here. Make sure your guides are locked because sometimes Illustrator will like to select your guide as well, which you do not want. So I'm going to white arrow. I'm going to do my marquee. And then I'm going to use a hotkey, Command J, which is join. And what that does is it draws a little line in between those shapes for you. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to marquee over those 2 points. I could also white arrow select one, hold shift, select the other. So just those 2 points are selected. And then Control J, and you can see how I now have a closed shape. Okay. And if I were to fill it, right? So the idea for this is you'll draw half of whatever garment you're doing, and then you'll flip it and you'll join it and you have a beautiful closed shape. Now, a way to troubleshoot a drawing to make sure that the shapes are closed, it kind of does it for you, because if you have forgotten to do the bottom one, and I'm going to white arrow is good also for if you want to click on a line and get rid of it, like I'm going to do. I'm going to white arrow and just click on the line in between. You can see that it's now not a closed shape and it will not, you'll have problems when you're filling. If you have all these different lines and they're not in fact joined to each other, it's going to look pretty crazy pretty soon. So make sure that all of your lines end up closing your shape. And again, you can also do it by, when you're starting a new line, little pen tool has the little star. When you're going to attach it to a line that's already there, all of a sudden it turns into, see that little line beside it? It goes from star, which says I'm starting a new line. This says I'm going to attach myself to a path that's already going, right? So we want to do that. And then we're going to go over to here and see, we're going to get that circle. Oh, we love that circle. The circle means closed shapes. There we go. And that is the incredible flip and join technique for creating symmetrical, perfect drawings.